Celphos. The most valuable fumigant. Lot of efforts and investments are made for grain production throughout the world. But at the same time, protection of the food grains during storage and transportation is also important. Many of the stored products will contain some of the life stages of insects developing inside them, from eggs to adult. And all these damages and destroys stored food grain, which results into loss of efforts and investment in producing grains. Insects are also living in hidden, in protected areas, such as wall voids of a godown, or other storage premises, which again infects fresh grains stored in godown. Fumigant is the only form of pesticide that can penetrate, even pressed, or tightly packed commodities, and also into every nook and corner of a storage structure. A fumigant has an insecticidal action in the vapor phase. Fumigation is only the control technique, in which an atmosphere inside storage area, containing a lethal gas, which controls an insect, or any other pest organism present in such fumigated environment. The necessity is to establish concentration of lethal gas high enough, and an exposure period long enough, to kill the insect or other pests. Fumigation is a versatile technique, which can be applied in a wide range of situations. Fumigation is used in a storage system to ensure that the fresh stocks entering into storage are free of infestation, and will not infest previously stored grain. If stored grain gets infested, then curative treatment helps to control further insect infestation. Fumigation is also mandatory requirement in trade and in quarantine in many countries around the world, including USA and Australia. The great efforts have been taken to develop new methods and techniques for fumigation, but the fact remains is, methyl bromide and aluminium phosphide fumigation techniques are widely used, and are only the options available on today. As all of us know, methyl bromide is an ozone-depleting compound, and has got many restrictions on its usage. Methyl bromide is heavier than air, hence needs circulation process for fumigation. Methyl bromide treatments on protein-rich materials like soy flour leaves an off odor. In some cases, cooking quality may be affected. Germination and seedling vigor are also likely to be affected. So, we are left with only one viable alternative: aluminium phosphide. In 1967, Excel developed aluminium phosphide with a brand name, Celphos. Aluminium phosphide was till then being manufactured by only two other companies in the world. Celphos products are specially coated tablet formulation, having aluminium phosphide as their active ingredient. On exposure to moisture in air, Celphos tablets slowly releases phosphine gas, the active pesticidal principle. This slow release of phosphine gives enough time to operator to complete fumigation operation, and to get away from fumigation area safely. Celphos is a sophisticated fumigant that has proved a boon for grains from farm to storage, not only in India, but in far-flung countries of the world. It is lethal to insect pests in every stage: egg, larva, pupa and adult. Since phosphine has a high rate of diffusion, it spreads evenly and rapidly to the most inaccessible corners and crevices. Unlike other fumigants, Celphos does not in any way taint, discolor, or disflavor the commodities treated with it, and leaves no hazardous residue after the action has worn off. Celphos, available in a versatile, solid, ready-to-use, tablet, and sachet, for safe and easy handling. Economical, effective, and convenient. Celphos has found wider acceptance with authorities concerned with the safeguarding and preservation of food commodities and food grains all over the world. The main reasons for their widespread uses are: phosphine has excellent penetrability through a variety of commodities without affecting food value, or leaving significant residues. Celphos is available in versatile, solid, ready-to-use tablet formulation that allow easy and safe handling. In fact, aluminium phosphide products can be used by persons with basic skills, under the supervision of trained person. Phosphine does not impair seed viability, thus making aluminium phosphide an excellent seed fumigant. Unlike other fumigants, phosphine does not present chronic toxicity hazards to human operators following the basic precautions. The high acute toxicity of phosphine, which is intrinsic to its insecticidal efficacy, can be managed safely through proper precautions in fumigation operations. Since predetermined dose of Celphos, releasing 1 gram of phosphine from each 3 grams tablet, it is very easy to apply correct dosages, unlike other liquid or gaseous fumigants, where measurement and application of precise quantities is difficult, cumbersome, and time-consuming. Celphos formulation, containing 56 or 57% AI, manufactured based on customer requirement, is recommended to be used at 9 to 10 gram of the product per metric ton of grains. For the fumigation of empty go-down, or storage structure, 150 gram of the product is recommended to be used per 100 cubic meter. It takes about 7 to 8 days for complete fumigation of target area. Celphos is one of the most potent insecticide for control of storage insects, rodents, and other pests. The necessity is to establish concentration of lethal gas high enough, and an exposure period long enough to kill the insect or other pests. Pure phosphine is colorless and odorless gas, which is toxic to all life stages of insect. Ammonia and carbon dioxide, released along with phosphine, dilute the phosphine concentrations. Carbon dioxide is well known for its fire-extinguishing properties. Ammonia has a pungent smell, which acts as a warning indication. Phosphine shows improved efficacy against insects in atmospheres rich in carbon dioxide. While applying aluminium phosphide, applicators and other workers must wear respirators if the concentration of phosphine in the work area is unknown, or is likely to exceed an 8-hour time-weighted average of 0.3 parts per million. At all other times, respiratory protection is required whenever anyone is exposed to fumigant concentrations exceeding 0.3 parts per million. NISH, or MSHA, approved full-face gas mask, with a canister, labeled for use with phosphine, may be used at phosphine concentrations up to 15 parts per million. Above this level, or in situations in which the phosphine concentration is unknown, a self-contained breathing apparatus, SCBA, or its equivalent, must be used. Regardless of the fumigant concentration in the work area, appropriate respiratory protection must be available at the fumigation site, in case it is needed. Two methods are commonly used to monitor the concentration of phosphine gas in the air. One method is using a handheld continuous exposure meter, with a digital display. This type of electronic meter has electrochemical sensor to measure phosphine concentration. The second method consists of using tubes that change color to indicate the gas concentration. These tubes are used with a special pump that draws sample of air through the tubes. The farther the color goes along the tubes, the higher the gas concentration. Extension tubes are also available, so that the inside air can be sampled from the outside. We may get such instruments from the different manufacturers, like Industrial Scientific, Oldham, Dredger, Control Equipment Limited, etc. For fumigation, airtightness of the structure is very essential to establish concentration of lethal gas high enough, and an exposure period long enough to kill the insect or other pests. Aluminium oxide and aluminium hydroxide are byproducts of the reaction. These chemicals, along with unreacted aluminium phosphide, remain as a grayish-white residue after fumigation. This residue is not permitted to come in direct contact with any processed food or bagged commodity. You can prevent the residue from contacting a commodity by placing the aluminium phosphide on a tray, instead of adding it directly to the commodity. Fumigation with aluminium phosphide may leave partially spent dust that must be deactivated. It involves collect the partially spent dust from pellets or tablets in a bucket or container, pour the dust slowly into the container with the detergent solution, and stir until the dust becomes thoroughly saturated and sinks to the bottom. The eventual oxidation product of phosphine will be phosphorus oxyacids and inorganic phosphate, which will be deposited and contribute to the nutritive environment of soils and surface waters. Phosphine gas, especially in the presence of moisture or ammonia, reacts with silver, copper, and copper alloys. Copper-containing equipment, such as electrical apparatus, may be severely damaged, hence protect them during fumigation process. Celphos is available in different formulations, and has convenient packaging for easy handling. Most widely used product is 3-gram tablet. The tablets are packed into aluminium tubes and bottles of various capacities, depending on end user's requirement. Excel has been producing and marketing the tablet formulation for Indian grain storage organizations like CWC, FCI, and state warehousing corporations for last many years. Excel is the major producer and exporter of this product. Celphos is exported to around 50 countries world over. Celphos powder is packed in non-tearable, gas-permeable sachet, which is further packed in tri-laminated, gas-proof outer cover. Celphos pouch formulation, though it is slightly expensive over tablets, offers many advantages in measuring, applying, and retrieving the used sachets at operating level. 34-gram pouch is preferred by professional fumigators. 6 pouches of 34 gram each, in one bigger pouch, is a composite pack. This pack is preferred by the professional fumigators for treating export containers. Some of the government agencies have also started using this packing. 100 pouches of 34 gram each, in belt pack, is developed for usage in ship fumigation, grain silos, and large grain storages by CWC and FCI. Excel has supplied this belt pack in some of the overseas markets, based on customer requirement. 10-gram pouch pack is manufactured and marketed in India by Excel, mainly for individual farmer usage, and for the on-farm fumigation of grains. Excel's Celphos is approved for import and usage in EU, Australia, Mexico, Brazil, etc. We are proud to inform that Excel has been producing aluminium phosphide of global standard, and also packing it into transport-worthy packaging system for the customers in global market. In various countries, all over the world, Celphos is being used for fumigation of dry commodities, in gas-tight enclosures, or under gas-tight covers. The several commodities, and types of enclosures, are being successfully treated with Celphos, without significant residues, or taint. Some are like bulk or bagged grains, and raw agricultural commodities, packed, processed food and feeds. Non-food items, empty enclosures, that is shipping or transport containers, rail cars or wagons, flour mills, warehouses, ship holds, can be fumigated for control of residual pest populations, under gas-tight conditions. Celphos, the most valuable fumigant. There is no viable alternative to Celphos, and not likely to be in near future. We must conserve this valuable fumigant by using it properly, ensure for airtight condition, right dosage, required duration, and safety in operations. Excel's Celphos, though it is in use for last more than 50 years, it is doing great job of protecting stored food grain world over. Celphos, The most valuable fumigant